Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the old days. It's a little nice back there. Feel free to grab it for a replay, but I'll just keep it following this time. Good morning, bright and early here in Calgary. 8:15 game about to get underway, about 30 seconds left on the warm-up clock for the boys. All right, the boys are facing off against LA Oil, Leduc team, basically Edmonton, Alberta area team. Boys have played them earlier in this tournament. Lost that game 4-1 yesterday morning. Very physical team, came out with a good tempo against the boys yesterday and kind of dominated that game from start to finish, but definitely a really physical team. So we'll see if the boys are up for it this morning, try to match that tempo and get a little revenge today in the semifinal game. This is the first semifinal game. There's another one after this game that we're playing in now. Winners of the semifinal will play at 3 o'clock this afternoon Mountain Time in a championship. And those who drop the semifinal game will play in the bronze medal game at 1 o'clock Mountain Time today. So either way, great for the boys, getting a couple extra games on Sunday here. More ice time. So 2 games every day, no matter what. Had they fallen out of the top 4, there would just have been a consolation game, and that would be it. So at least they made it to the top 4, and they get 2 games today. And they'll either be in the championship or potentially facing a new opponent if they were to fall and play in the bronze medal game. So we'll see how things shake out today. But either way, we're getting some extra hockey. About ready to get underway here. Walcott will take the face-off. It's controlled by Leduc. They'll dump it in the zone. McCabe over there to set it back up the boards. Welsh right there. He gets it over to Fuller. Fuller runs into a check, but he gets it cleared out. Puck will trickle all the way back down to the Leduc zone. Trying to set something up behind their own net. Little D-to-D pass, and then a breakout up the left side, but too far. Scooped up by McCabe. He fires it off the boards, trying to find Gingrich. Puck is chipped back out to the neutral zone. The Cable retreats, circling around in the zone, trying to find a passing lane. He'll flip it over off the boards, clears the zone, but turned over back to Leduc. Loose puck at center ice, picked up by Fuller. He sidesteps the check, and he'll dump it in and head back to the bench for a line change. Fresh set of leg for the Warriors. Howard picks up the puck, intercepts the pass, and at the blue line, dumps it back in. Curtin and Phillips on defense. Phillips circling around, to wait to get touched up. Gets dumped from behind there, no call. Loose puck at center ice, picked up by Leduc. They'll circle back on their own zone. Curtin and Phillips back on D. Wald back checking at center ice there, breaks up the play. A little battle on the near boards here. Puck squirts out, picked up by Clark. Little drop pass over for Curtin. Curtin off the boards, back up to center ice. Picked up by Leduc. Good pressure on the near boards by Clark. He separates the puck. Curtin will send it around, trying to find Phillips, just a little too far. Chip pass back to the blue line, completely out of the zone. There they go. Far referee didn't have his hand up, and the near side one did. Moss on the ice, along with Clark and Wald are your forwards. Phillips sends it around, trying to find Clark. Little drop pass, but nobody there. Gets sent back to the point. Loose puck picked up by Wald. Wald and Moss on the breakaway. Wald all alone. It's poked away, but Moss picks it up, fires a shot. Got tipped and goes up into the netting. Good opportunity there. Kind of a 2-on-2 for the moment, and then Wald got in front of the defense, or behind the defense, I guess I should say, and had a couple strides. Got it poke checked away, though, and ended up on the stick of Moss, but the shot got deflected. Good opportunity there for the Warriors. Bayshore on defense, back with Osler. Russell on the ice, along with Moss and Rabotham. Russell runs into a big check at center ice. Rabotham is there to send the puck back into the zone. And it's scooped up by Leduc. They try to break it out, but it's turned back in by Osler. Pass at center ice, turned aside by Rabotham. Warriors doing a good job to break up the flow so far. Leduc not having much success in the offensive zone just yet. Russell does a good job to tie up his man. Bayshore picks up the puck, sidesteps a poke check, but second one breaks up the play, and they'll dump it in and head back to the bench. Bayshore back to the bench along with Russell. Onto the ice, Walcott, Gingrich. Near side pass just over the blue line comes Leduc. Trying to get a centering pass. Someone was streaking behind the Warrior defense, but it's broken up. Welsh picks up the puck just inside the blue line. Takes a big hit, dumps it in behind the goalie. Leduc regains possession. Good battle back there with Fuller. He breaks up the play, trying to get it back to the point. Scooped up by Fuller again. Fuller sends it behind the net, bangs it off the boards, but picked up by Leduc. Streaking down through the center ice was number 23, trying to get behind the defense there, but broken up by the Warriors. Fuller at center ice. Sidesteps a poke check, fires it off the backboard, settles behind the red line. Picked up by Leduc. Poke checked away by Gingrich, and that'll slide right into the crease, covered up by Rushnyak. Good tempo so far for the boys in this early game. Wasn't a whole lot of words on the car ride over this morning. I assume that was the same for most cars. Pretty quiet, getting up at 6:15 this morning. But so far, the boys seem to have enough energy to match the tempo of Leduc. Off to a good start. Curtin battling in the corner after the face-off. Clark is there along with Wald. Leduc digs it out, brings it back to the point. Shot, hits his own man in the slot and kicks into the corner. Curtin sends it around. Halleck's there trying to bang it out. Poke check from Wald, trying to get it up the blue line. Kept in by Leduc. They get all the way through the slot. Shot, and they score. To get it just to that one final pass. Warriors tying up most of the men there in the slot, but one squirted by on the right side. They made a nice timely pass just at the very last second, and they beat Rusniak over the glove side on the right side of the net. And that puts Leduc up 1-0 here. I may have started my clock wrong. I'm not sure. It says 11:25. Sorry about that. So 11:25 remaining in this first period. Leduc goes up 1-0. Botham on the dot. Russell and Moss are your wingers. Warriors control the face-off. Comes back to Osler. Poked away and picked up by Bayshore. Will backhand it back into the neutral zone. Russell scoops it up. Turns, fires. Icing. Face-off back in the Warrior zone. Shot, quick save by Rusniak. Appeared that the Warriors won the face-off, but Leduc jumped right through. Quick snapshot. Right into the chest guard of Ruzi. Hangs on to that one. We'll get another face-off. Osler tried to chip it up. Kept up the blue line. Kept in. Send all the way back in the corner, and Osler will again send it back up. Comes the point. Centering pass picked off by Bayshore. Again held at the blue line by Leduc. Warriors trying to send it out. It's coming back to the points each time. A couple quick slap shots from each side by the Oil. They'll again do a D-to-D pass. Right side shot, save. Rusniak and kicked aside by Osler. Good stick by Osler as the rebound is sitting right there in the back door. A lot of good looks here. Warriors bringing the pressure after the first couple minutes with the Warriors controlling it. Going to get a contact to the head. 87 going hard into Russell. That'll put the Warriors on the power play here. Russell giving the referees his opinion of that, but he did draw the penalty, but still chirping at the ref. Referee swings by the bench, and you can hear him on the ice. He said enough. Warriors on the power play now. 2-minute variety for the contact of the head. Not intentional, so not a double minor. Face off won by Leduc and cleared out to start this power play for the Warriors. Clark scoops it up though in his own zone all the way through the traffic, trying to get one more touch on it as it squirted all the way through the defense. Clark beat his man to the puck, but it slid just a little too far into the crease and was covered up by the Leduc goalie before Clark could get back to it. Just over 10 minutes remaining here in period number 1. Wald will take the face off. They win it back to the point, trying to get it to Fuller. Poke checked away. McCabe in the corner with Gingrich, along with Fuller trying to dig it out. Wald rolls back to the point. Gingrich trying to pull it back and make a pass, but poke checked away by Leduc, and they'll send it back into the neutral zone. Clark retreating, picks up the puck. Circling behind Rusniak, looking for an outlet pass. Long sauce up to center ice, picked up by Fuller, but poke checked away. McCabe right there at the trailer. He'll try to flip it in, but it's sent right back to Rusniak by Leduc. 1 minute expired so far in the power play. Quick touch pass from Wald over to Fuller. Fuller skates around some poke checks in his own zone, up through the neutral zone. Just on the blue line, trying to get a pass back to the point. Lost the handle and cleared out by Leduc again. Clark quickly back, picks up the pass from Rusniak. Circling through the neutral zone, up the left side. Clark around some traffic, Great look all the way through the crease trying to find Robotham, but trickles all the way back to the blue line. Good job by Clark to draw some attention and then make a great pass through the crease. Just slipped under the stick of Robotham and back to the point. 20 seconds remaining. Clark up to the side, touch pass to Gingrich over to Wald. Wald across the blue line, 2-on-2. Quick shot by Wald, goes off the glass. Robotham picks it up. 8 seconds left in the power play, and that should just about do it as they clear it down to Rusniak. Clark scoops it up, back to full strength. Outlet pass for Robotham. Robotham chips it down, touched up by the Leduc goalie. He'll send it around to the far side. Comes back to the point, kept in by Welsh. Flipped up and out of the zone. Phillips is back at center ice. He'll send it back in. The Warriors touch up on sides. Gingrich to the bench. Curtin comes on. Pass up the center ice by Leduc. Across the neutral zone into the right side. Drop pass at the point. Welsh is there to break up the play. Walcott on the near boards as well. Loose puck picked up by Curtin. He tries to send it up and out of the zone. Good bouncer gets out of the zone, and Welsh chasing after it. Puck comes back to center ice. Curtin will send it in. Warriors trying to touch up, but might have caught a piece of Welsh there as he was still in the zone, rushing back to get on sides. We got a face-off here. 7:32 remaining. Walcott will take the face-off. Welsh and Robotham are your wingers, and Phillips and Curtin is the D pair. Leduc over the blue line, drop pass, wasn't anticipated by the Leduc player. They scoop up the loose puck though, circling behind Rusniak. Centering pass goes onto the stick of Welsh. Welsh trying to pull it back and evade some traffic. It does get around one defender. Chips it up and into the Leduc bench. Face off at center ice after the puck goes out of play, just outside the Warrior zone. Bayshore and Osler are your defensemen. Russell taking the face-off with Moss and Howick. Leduc controls. Quick pass, they'll dump it into the zone. Chasing after it is Bayshore. Bayshore off the glass, around the boards, all the way back to the blue line, scooped up by Leduc. Squirts just by. Loose puck almost picked up by Russell, but he runs into Bayshore. Good poke check there by Moss to break it up. Russell back on his feet. One man to beat, trying to get around some traffic. Good poke check by Leduc, and they break it up. And it looks like we're going to get a penalty here as Russell takes down the player, takes his helmet off. And then he drops the stick after that. And now he may get tossed. We'll see. It's a 2 and 10. Not sure what the call was. See what they put on the board here for the penalty. It's 6:40 mark. Initial call was for some sort of rough, taking the helmet off of the kid. I think he knocked the stick out of his hand after that, drew some extra attention from the ref, but then some words with the referee after that. They'll tack on something, it seems like. But right now, only 2 minutes on the board. Shot saved by Rusniak. Loose puck, they blew it dead. Loose puck went wide on the post. Referee lost sight of it. We'll see what the call here is. Warriors certainly shorthanded. Not sure how they'll play this, but yeah, there goes Welsh. So Welsh to the box for 2-minute penalty. So I would assume 2 and 10. Welsh is into the penalty box to serve the 2-minute minor. And Russell presumably will be out for an additional 10, possibly the game. We'll keep an eye on that and see how that goes. Botham and Walcott on the ice. Bayshore and Osler are your defensemen. D-to-D pass for Leduc. Shot wide left, picked up by Bayshore. Rusniak tried to get a piece of it, a little bit wide, went off the glass. Leduc back to the left point, trying to get a shot. Into the slot, shot right on target, saved by Rusniak. Looks like it got hung up in his blocker, maybe into the glove it looks like. Chest save and drops into the glove. 1:16 remaining on the minor penalty. Just under 6 minutes remaining here. Clark taking the face off. Gingrich, Fuller, and McCabe on the ice as well. Leduc working down in the face-off circle. Drop pass. All the way back to the blue line now. Trying to find a shooting lane into the face-off dot. Shot. I think Rusniak got a piece of it. Went off the glove, off the glass, and circles all the way down. 5.5 minutes remaining. Leduc regroups. Outlet pass to center ice. A little touch pass at the red line. They enter the zone on the right side. A good back check by Fuller, though. Gingrich lost his stick. He scoops that back up. Leduc circling behind Rusniak. Trying to get it back to the point. Scooped up by Fuller. Shorthanded opportunity here for Fuller. Gets around some traffic. Goes wide. Circling. Buying some time. Trying to find Clark. Clark lets it rip. Shot saved by the Leduc goalie. Goes into the far corner. Good job to burn some clock off there and a good shorthanded opportunity. Leduc comes the other direction. Just inside the blue line. Circling wide. Shot saved by Rusniak. Rebound comes out to the face-off circle. Gingrich on the near side. Forces an errant pass over the blue line. Back to full strength. Welsh on the ice. The minor penalty is over. 5-on-5 here. Gingrich and McCabe on defense. Wald, Welsh, and Clark are your forwards. Good stick there by Wald to break it up. It's a streaking Leduc player. Almost got behind the defense, but a great poke check by Wald. Gingrich trying to toe drag it around some traffic. Gets poked over to Clark. Back to Gingrich. Gingrich up the left side. Forced wide. Trying to find an open man. Comes back to the point. Broken up, though, on the pass. Trying to find someone in the slot. Leduc regroups in their own zone. Quick pass up to the neutral zone. Back over to the right side. Moss is there with a poke check. Trying to smack it over back to the side. Looking for Wald. But poked away. Gingrich will send it around. Phillips on the ice, along with Gingrich. Moss, Wald, and Howick are your forwards. Kept into the line by Leduc. Phillips battling with Wald on the near side. Wald trying to chip it out of the zone. Phillips is here on the near side as well. Poked away, but it comes back to the point. Quick shot, goes wide of Rusniak, bangs off the side of the net, settles behind the Warriors' net. Phillips is back there. He'll send it high off the glass, trying to get a little bouncer out of the zone, but it's kept in. I have to make it dizzy here with the camera back and forth, but really close to where we are on the glass. Shot, tipped, goes wide. Rusniak had his glove up, but I think it got tipped by a player in the crease. Might have been played by a high stick. We'll see. The call is. Yeah, they're going to bring the face-off out of the zone. 2:45 remaining in period number 1. Curtin and Phillips on defense. Walcott will take the face-off with Robotham and Fuller. Tie up after the face-off. Puck controlled by Leduc. They'll dump it in. Intercepted by Curtin. Cleared but not out. Comes right back in the slot. Good play. Good last-second pass on the far side, but Rusniak got a leg pad out to save it. Fuller skates around some traffic. Gets tied up trying to get behind Walcott. And it's cleared out. Phillips there at the point, just outside the blue line. He'll play it over to Curtin. Curtin dumps it in. The Warriors touch up on sides. Walcott pursuing on the far side. Cleared all the way out by LeDuc. Arm is up for icing when the referee waves it off. Curtin over to Phillips. Phillips trying to chip it ahead to Fuller. Chipped out by Phillips. Back to center ice. LeDuc trying to get a centering pass, goes off a couple skates, trickles into the crease and kicked out by Rusniak. Comes back to the point, off of another skate of a LeDuc player. Good pass right there, backdoor streaking player for LeDuc, and they hit a one-timer just on the blocker side of Rusniak. Under 2 minutes remaining here in period number 1. And LeDuc goes up 2-0. Really good puck movement there. That's tough to defend for Rusniak. A lot of traffic on the near post, and they made a good last-second pass on the backside. Streaking trailer came in with a good one-timer. LeDuc will chip it in. Down to the Warrior zone, chasing after it is Bayshore. Bayshore trying to clear it around, looking for Howick, got up into the netting. We'll get a stoppage in play here. Loose puck chipped back to the blue line, but kept in by LeDuc. They send it right back down in the Warrior end. Bayshore trying to chip it up to Wald. Wald sends it up to the blue line, but kept in. Centering pass, gets kicked aside by Osler. They send it back to the blue line. It's held in. Chasing after the corner is Osler along with Wald. They circle behind the net, trying to get a pass or bring it back to the left, to the right point. Quick shot. Got tipped by Wald, goes into the far corner. Rebound came out to the face-off dot. Number 2 for LeDuc fires it. Might have been tipped, but fires it up into the netting. Looks like they'll say it got tipped by a Warrior player, so they'll stay here in the offensive zone for LeDuc. Just under a minute remaining in this first period. McCabe behind the net, sends it over to Welsh. Welsh trying to get a little sauce back up, looking for Walcott. It does get it out of the zone, but just over Walcott's stick. Sent back in by LeDuc. Gingrich chasing after it. A little hesitation, moved by some time, chips it over to McCabe. McCabe tries to get up to Fuller. Cross-check from behind, it looks like.
Let's go, dude! Good job, Parsons! Cowboy Fuller!
Number 2 goes to the bench. We'll see what they call. We'll call it a trip. That could have been a trip or a check from behind. Either way, puts the Warriors on the power play here in the last half a minute of period number 1. Walcott will take the face-off. Welsh and Fuller are back on the blue line. Gingrich on the wing, along with Moss. First possession goes to LeDuc after the face-off, and they'll send it all the way down to Rusniak. Rusniak touches it up, leaves it for Fuller. Fuller across the blue line into the neutral zone. Plays it over to Walcott. Shot on target, looking for a rebound there for Welsh maybe. Kicked aside. Warriors regain possession, it looks like. Shot on target. It looks like it came from Welsh. Just inside the blue line, saved by the LeDuc goalie, and we'll get a stoppage in play here with 5 seconds remaining. If you're just joining us now, this is a semifinal game. Winner moves on to a 3 o'clock championship. The loser goes to the bronze medal game. There's another semifinal after this one, so see what happens in the first 2 morning games, but 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, pending the outcome of this game. That'll do it for the first period. We still have 1:25 left on the power play. They'll head into the second period with the man advantage. Try to cut this lead in half for the Leduc Oil. And look to get our first goal on the board for this morning. Don't remember. Do you remember, Jed, what time was it? Boston?
I think he's got That's true, yeah. It's close, but I think it's 11 minutes maybe. I thought you think he's not done in the game? Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Really. They would have tossed the body, man.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on the lineup, see what happens. It seemed like it was about, not quite sure, maybe 10 minutes or so remaining in that first when the penalty to Russell happened. So we're not sure if it's a 2 and 10 or not. It seems like if he was ejected, they may have just sent him back to the bench into the locker room, but served the penalty in the penalty box. So we'll see what happens there. It does appear that he's headed back to the penalty box, so we'll keep an eye on that. 15 minutes on the clock. Period number 2 set to get underway. Wald will take the face-off. Warriors still on the man advantage. Curtin and Clark on defense. Halleck on the wing, along with Bayshore. Puck controlled by Leduc. They'll send it back, but quickly picked up by Curtin. Curtin circling around, spins it up the right side. Clark evades some traffic, plays it over to Wald. Wald across the blue line, shot, stick save. Gets upended after the shot, picked up by Bayshore. Bayshore looking for a wraparound. Holds it back to himself, trying to find a shooting lane or make a pass. He'll play it over to Clark. Quickly back to Bayshore. He'll leave it for Curtin. Curtin walks the line, trying to play it down low to the face-off dot, but he got poked at the last second and broken up and sent back out by Leduc. Circling behind his own net, Curtin picks it up. Pass on the far side to Halleck. Halleck trying to find a little sauce on the near side. Bayshore pursuing. We get there first and chip it in deep. Wald pursuing behind the net, but not before Leduc gets there and sends it the length of the ice. Picked up by Rusniak. He'll settle it behind the net. Picked up by Clark. Clark trying to get around some traffic. Chips it over to Curtin. Curtin with a long pass over to Clark on the near side. Clark over the blue line. Around some traffic. He's got Wald streaking in the center. Cleared out all the way back to center ice. Phillips got a stick on it, but Curtin was back. He'll pick it up and send it on the far side to Fuller. Puck bounces over his stick and launched into the bench by Leduc on the clearing attempt. Back to full strength. 13 and a half minutes remaining in period number 2. D-to-D pass for Leduc through the neutral zone. Good poke check away, though, by Welch. Leduc sends it in on target, kicked aside by Rusniak. Warriors cleared out, but just hops over the stick, trying to find Fuller there at center ice. Comes all the way back to the Leduc zone. Picked up behind their net. Outlet pass on the near side. They skate around a poke check. Osler is back. Good pass there. It's kind of hard to see that exchange, but it looks like they passed right into the slot, but Rusniak got a piece of it, and it went wide to the left. Cleared all the way out by the Warriors. Leduc will regroup in their own zone, just inside the blue line. D-to-D pass and up the near boards. All the way down, that'll be an icing call with 12:46 remaining. Face-off will come down here into the offensive zone for the Warriors. McCabe and Gingrich on the ice, along with Rabotham, Moss, and Wald.
Let's go, Warriors!
Wald wins the face-off, comes back to McCabe. McCabe lets a shot go. Rabotham jumped over it, tried to get a screen set up there, but a good save by the Leduc goalie. Puck back to center ice. Kicked aside by McCabe over to the far boards. Gingrich will pick it up. He'll send it behind Rusniak. Bangs off the boards up the near side, not out. Kept in right at the blue line by Leduc. They send it in. They got one player down there on the near side. Shot saved by Rusniak. It's a good quick pass from the blue line to the far post. Rusniak was there to make the save. Another shot, but poke checked away by Gingrich. Loose puck picked up by Leduc on the far side. They'll play it back to the defensive point. Back down low. Loose puck in front. Kicked aside. We'll see. They're going to call a penalty here. Going to get a cross check. It looks like Wald will go off for the cross check. Couldn't quite see that in the replay either. It's a little bit too far on the far end. Warriors go on the penalty kill. Curtin and Phillips on the ice for the defensive unit. Fuller and Clark, it looks like, are your forwards. Face-off controlled by Leduc. Almost got cleared out, but they send it back in. Curtin tries to send it around, but kept in on the left side by Leduc. Phillips battling in the far corner. Forces Leduc back to the blue line. They'll turn, fire, and dump it back in. Loose puck caroms off the back of the net. Picked up again by Leduc. They'll play it back to the right point. Back down low. Circling around the face-off circle. Shot, stick save by Rusniak. Comes all the way back to the left point. Leduc walks the line. Clark there with a poke check. Curtin there. They try to get it poked out of there. Fuller is there, but kept in at the blue line. Shot, bar down, just grazes the crossbar. They get it just over Rusniak's glove side shoulder. Good hard wrist shot, and that puts Leduc up 3-0. Walled out of the box after the minor cross check. Back to the bench. Full strength now for the Warriors.
Let's get one, boys.
3-0 goes the score after the goal. Warriors control the face-off. They chip it ahead to Howitt. Chip back to center ice for Bayshore. Sent right back in by Osler, I believe. Center ice. Poke check by Howitt trying to break up the rush from Leduc. They regain possession momentarily and dump it in, but Howitt is there to flip it right back out. Walled with the poke check, but they get it over to the right defensive player for Leduc, and a quick pass zone entry on the right side. They circling behind Rusniak, trying to get a centering pass. Shot, saved by Rusniak. He had his leg pad out. Makes the save. Puck controlled by Leduc. Back to the point. Another quick shot saved by Rusniak. Stick save goes into the corner. Leduc regains possession on the far side. They'll play it back to the right point. Back down low in the far corner. Fuller harassing him in the corner. Kicked aside. Loose puck. Rebound gets shot off the glass. Warriors trying to clear the zone here. Good long possession for Leduc in the offensive zone. Centering pass gets bounced over the stick of the Leduc player, and here comes Fuller. Fuller trying to get around one more player. Poke checked away. Walcott into the trailer. He'll flip it ahead to Fuller. Puck squirts behind the Leduc net. Scooped up by number 14. Good pressure by Fuller trying to keep the play alive. It does clear the zone. Bayshore is there to pick it up. Warriors have to touch up and get back on sides. We go just under 10 minutes remaining here in period number 2. 3-0 your score. Loose puck picked up behind Rusniak. Here comes Osler streaking through center ice. Trying to get around some traffic. It's poke checked away. Almost got it over to Walcott. Play is broken up by Leduc. They'll send it back down. All the way to Rusniak. He'll touch it up and leave it for Bayshore. Loose puck is picked up though by Leduc. They'll play it back to the right point. Step around a poke check from Robotham. Shot doesn't get through. Hits some defensive traffic in the slot. Comes back to the point. Poke check by Bayshore, I believe, and then Robotham sends it to the end of the ice. Get an icing call. Stoppage in play here with just over 9 minutes remaining in the second period. Gingrich trying to chip it out of the zone, kept in though by Leduc. Battle on the far boards. They drop it back down low. Try to get a centering pass there, but it's scooped up by Howick. Excuse me, Howick over to Gingrich. Gingrich will flip it in and chase after it. The Duke player goes down, but the loose puck is scooped up by Howick. Howick back to the point. Looking for McCabe. Shot tipped right in front. Gingrich takes a crack at it. Loose puck and they score! Warriors on the board. Couldn't quite tell. Might have been Gingrich there watching the replays. Good rebound activity and good pressure right in front of the net. Warriors chip into this lead. It's now 3-1. Clock operator buzzes the siren, not quite ready to get started here. We got the score on the board now, 3-1. Warriors trying to claw their way back into this semifinal game against Leduc. Puck controlled by Leduc after the face-off, up the left side, trying to chip it through the neutral zone, but it comes all the way back to Gingrich. He'll chase it back on the far side. Leduc tries to fire it in. I think it went off the skate of Wald. Karam's into the far corner. Gingrich battling. I believe it looks like Clark is back there as well. Back to the point for Leduc. Shot gets to get through the traffic. Bounces over to the left defensive side. Leduc trying to keep it in. They get it down to the face-off circle. Quick shot. Goes wide off the boards, and Karam's all the way back to the right point. A little back and forth for Leduc. They send it down low behind Rusniak, trying to get a centering pass, but good job by Gingrich to break it up behind the net. A little drop pass for another Leduc player. He'll scoop it up and send it back. Trying to get to the point. They've been intercepted by his own player. Looked like he was trying to get it back to the point. Leduc dumps it back in. Centering pass, shot. Blistering one-timer. Great pass from the corner. The streaking player coming down just inside the face-off circle. One-timer slap shot. Looks like it got over Rusniak's blocker side. Tough to defend. Real hard shot there. That goes in for the fourth goal for Leduc. Puts the lead back at 3 goals. We'll see how the Warriors respond here. I believe this was the score in the first meeting yesterday. Final, I believe, was 4-1 against Leduc, so a little more scoring early on, but similar score last time. Face off, controlled by the Warriors. Will play it back over to Phillips. Touch pass up to Robotham. Robotham over the blue line. He'll dump it in the far side, trying to get a little sauce over to Fuller, but just a little too far. Loose puck in front. Walcott got a stick on it, but Didn't look like he got a clean shot or it maybe gone off a skate of a Leduc player. Leduc rushing the other direction. Phillips and Curtin back on defense. Broken up by a back-checking Robotham. Shot from the point, loose puck in front, gets kicked aside. Curtin battling in the far side. Walcott there in support as well. Leduc comes away with it. They try to toe drag it around some traffic that's chipped away by Phillips up to Fuller. Fuller trying to skate through one more poke check. It's bounced away as he was streaking in the zone. Picked up by Walcott. Walcott down inside the face-off circle. Hits the brakes, evades some traffic. They'll play it back to the point for Phillips. Phillips plays it back down low. Walcott let it go under his stick, trying to get it around to Fuller, but it's intercepted behind the Leduc net. Phillips jumps the pass. Pretty good anticipation there. Breaks it up. Still gets cleared out, though. All the way to the end of the ice. Curtin chasing after it. Play it back up. Trying to get it to Phillips. Loose puck. Picked up. Shot goes wide. Might have hit the side of the post. I kind of heard some iron there, but it went wide. Leduc back to the point. Chipped up and out of the zone. I didn't notice, by the way, I didn't notice when Russell was out of the box, but he is back on the bench, so not a game misconduct. Served the delayed penalty here as Howick touches it up. Leduc goalie was headed to the bench. Nevertheless, served the misconduct, I should say, and he's back on the Warriors bench now. Contact to the head for Walcott, it looks like. Must have got the stick up high, it sounds like. So Warriors go on the penalty kill. Wald, Clark, Osler, and Bayshore on the ice for the Warriors for this first shift of the penalty kill. 5:43 remaining in period number 2. Puck controlled by the Warriors. They flip it up and out of the zone. Puck gets up on its edge. No icing, and Clark chasing after it. Goalie does a aggressive move over the corner, but a smart move, trying to head it off before Clark could get there. Leduc comes away with it. They'll play it back to the point. They walk the line, pass over to the left D. Shot saved by Rusniak. He'll hang on to that. No rebound. 5:14 remaining. Warriors win the face-off, send it the length of the ice. Clark chasing after it. Leduc goalie out of the net. Leaves it for his player behind the net. Will try to set something up. Clark picks up the errant pass just outside the face-off circle. He'll dump it in for Wald. Wald circling behind the net. Hits the brakes, evades some traffic, trying to go the other direction, maybe looking for a wraparound, but it's poked away by Leduc. Good forecheck pressure here on the penalty kill. Burning a lot of clock and about halfway through the penalty. Slap shot from the point. They don't get much on it. Trickles all the way into the far corner. Picked up. Sauced out of the zone. Might have been I'm sure what the call was. Maybe a hand pass. Waved at it, I'm not sure. But play's blown dead. Face-off looks like it's coming to the dot just outside the Leduc zone. 41 seconds left on the penalty kill. 4:24 left in the period. Warriors with one too many players on the ice, it looks like. We've got 5 out there and we're on a penalty kill. Moss will head to the bench. Get back to 4 players. Robotham and Russell are your forwards. McCabe and Gingrich on defense. Leduc controls the face-off. Quick pass up the right side. Back checking as Russell scoops up the puck. Circling behind his own net. Up the near side. Trying to get around a player. Poke checked away. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty. Poke check by Russell. Kicks it back to himself. Russell over the red line, shot on target, glove save. He drops it right down in front of him and plays it back to his own player. Leduc up the right side. Out of the zone, through the neutral zone. Gingrich is back along with McCabe. Leduc will dump it in, played by Rusniak. Back to Gingrich. Onto the ice comes Walcott. He'll step straight to the bench. Penalty is over. Walcott off, and Moss is on. Moss walks the blue line, waiting for Gingrich. Quick, hard shot, blocker save, bounces right back to a Leduc player in the face-off circle. They regain possession and head up through the neutral zone. Skating on the near side was Robotham. Will force him wide. Goes behind the net. Good poke check by Robotham, breaks it up. Tries to send it up the blue line, but not out. Leduc keeps it alive. Sends it right back behind Rusniak. Trying to set something up. Looking for a pass, high slot, shot, saved by Rusniak. Tried to cover it, bounced away just a little bit. The goalie, I should say the referee, lost sight of it, so Rusniak was trying to clear it out of the zone with a stick when they blew the whistle. We'll get a face-off in the Warrior zone. Curtin and Phillips on defense. Howick, Wald, and Clark are your forwards. Wald will take the drop. Warriors poke it out of the zone, picked up by Howick. Howick up the right side. He's got Clark. Howick shot off the chest of the goalie. Up into the netting. Stoppage in play as it leaves the playing surface. Good 2-on-1 rush there. Kind of hoping for a rebound of some sort, but it just got chipped up into the netting. Clark was trailing. Wald to take the face off. They'll toss out Wald. Howick comes in. Clark on the right side. Won by Leduc. They played off the side of the cage right in front. Howick turns, fires, trying to get a loose puck in there. Just couldn't get turned around in time and cleared out by Leduc. Phillips back checking. He'll turn around, plays it back to Howick. Howick, a little touch pass, trying to get it back to the center ice, but poke checked away by Leduc. Phillips behind the net, operating there with Curtin. Leduc digs it out, trying to get a centering pass. Flipped all the way up to the blue line and out of the zone. Howick chasing after it. Picked up by Leduc behind their own red line. They play it out just before the check. Up the left side, Phillips is back, along with Curtin. Far side pass, Curtin for the poke check. Shot right on the chest pad of Rusniak. He'll hang on to that one as we go just under 2 minutes remaining here in this second period. Score remains 4-1. Boys hanging in there. As I mentioned, that was the final score the first time they played LA Oil. Boys got it back down to 3-1 before Leduc quickly answered, made it back to a 3-goal lead. But boys are still battling. Fuller with a good poke check, as well as I believe Bayshore over there. Second poke check sends it up, and it looks like that's Osler on the far side, Bayshore on the near side. Puck left the playing surface, so we get another face-off back in the offensive zone for Leduc. Osler controls the face-off. He'll slide it around to Bayshore, tries to bang it up the sides and into the neutral zone. Picked up by Fuller. He kicks it ahead to himself. Good job by Fuller to evade some traffic, trying to chip it ahead, looking for Walcott. Poke checked away. Leduc circling in front of their own net, up the right side. Errant pass. Sent back in by Fuller under the red line, no icing. Walcott and Fuller pursuing. They'll pass it behind their own net. Looking for an outlet pass. Good forecheck pressure here by Walcott. They chip it up and might have caught a piece of the netting. Another stoppage in play. 1:12 remaining in period number 2. Russell pursuing the puck in the far corner. Leduc player's lost his stick. They'll play it back to the point to Gingrich. Gingrich, quick snapshot right on the chest guard of the Leduc goalie. He'll hang on to that one. 1:02 left in the period. Robotham will take the face-off this time. Russell and Moss are your wingers. Gingrich and McCabe on the points. See if the boys can get one stuffed in here with the last minute remaining in the second period. Little momentum shift.
Ref yawning. You see the ref? He's like,
LeDuc controls the face-off. They'll clear it up the right side into the neutral zone. Quick pass over the blue line. Shot, save after the first attempt, and they get it behind Rusniak. A little give and go on the first two players, but it was poke checked away and right in time for the trailer to pick up the loose puck. Quick snapshot beats Rusniak. LeDuc goes up 5-1 here. 48 seconds left in period number 2. Glove down by Russell. They tried to clear it out. He got a glove on it and kept it alive. Robotham comes away with it. Trying to poke check it over to Russell, but broken up by LeDuc. Another centering pass there by Robotham, but doesn't get through the traffic. Slides all the way, or doesn't get over to Russell, I should say. Slides all the way to the crease and covered up by the goalie. Half a minute left here. Another face-off in the offensive zone. Phillips and Curtin on the ice for the defensive unit. Wald will take the face-off with Howick and Clark. LeDuc tried to clear it. Good pressure by Howick. Breaks up the clearing attempt. Clark over there scoops up the loose puck. Circling around, trying to throw something back into the slot. It's a LeDuc player, and they break it up and come the other direction. Phillips back along with Curtin. Good poke check by Phillips there. Breaks it up. Warriors set it back up the near side, but right at center ice, banged back in. No icing, touched up by Rusniak behind the net. Phillips will play it over to the far side for Clark. Clark touch pass, trying to get it to Fuller. 10 seconds left in the period. D to D pass, quick shot, leg pad save by Rusniak. Another shot from the point, goes wide, and that'll do it for the second period. Duke notches another goal late in the second. They go up 5-1 here as we head into this final period. I believe it'll be at 20 minutes, so we'll double check that. I'll put it at 20 for now. We'll see how that shakes out. Looks like they're going to send him to the locker room for a Zamboni resurface, so I'll go ahead and put the audio on mute. And whenever you hear the arena noise come back here, probably 15 minutes or so after the Zamboni resurface, and we'll see you here for the third period. LeDuc up 5-1 as we go into the third. right, we're back. Third period about to get underway. Looks like they're going to go, well, they are in 20 minutes. They had 15 on the board momentarily, but they're back to 20. The Duke controls the face-off, trying to chip it in, but sent right back by Osler. The Duke picks up the loose puck, though. Sends it in, but that'll be an icing call. First quick whistle here in the third period. Offensive zone face-off for the Warriors. On the ice is Wald, Clark, and Howick. I did check the board there. It looks like Howick got the assist and Gingrich got the goal. Warriors' only goal so far. So Gingrich from Howick. Osler with a quick shot, goes wide right. Cameron's behind the net. This puck behind the net, circling as Leduc. They're trying to couple quick touch passes and break out of the zone through the neutral zone and all the way just over the right side into the Warriors zone. A shot goes wide left. Rusnak tried to wave at it, but it was sufficiently wide left. Tied up in the far boards. We're going to get a penalty here. It looks like interference. Osler's trying to pick up a stick, it looked like. I think it was Osler's trying to pick up a stick. Number 2 gets an interference call, trying to kick it away. So a quick power play here for the Warriors. Let's see if they can take advantage. McCabe and Gingrich, along with Moss, Russell, and Walcott. Five to 1 your score here in the third. Back to the point for Gingrich. He'll play it over to Russell. Just behind Russell, he'll retreat. Back to his own blue line, circling around, trying to evade some traffic here. Poke checked away at the blue line and picked up by McCabe. McCabe over to Moss, broken up, but picked right back up by McCabe on the right side. Good poke check there, though, by Leduc, and they'll send it back in the Warrior zone. Rusnak will touch it up. 90 seconds left on the power play for the Warriors. Russell, drop pass for McCabe. McCabe on the near side, up the left side. Into the zone, under the blue line. Trying to find a pass, looking at centering it. Trying to find Gingrich, it looked like, but it was poke checked away. Battle in the far corner there. Hard to see who maintained possession there, but it comes back to the point for Russell. Back down, looking for Walcott. Snap shot goes wide. Might have got poked and into the far corner, and then Leduc clears it down. Settled by Rusnak. 50 seconds remaining. Russell behind his own net, scoops up the puck. Up the left side. He finds Gingrich just inside the zone. Gingrich face-off circle shot. Goalie had the angle covered. That was pretty tight. Might have gone off the side of him or the side of the cage and circles behind the net. Gingrich digs up the loose puck. Phillips is back on the point. He'll play it back to Phillips. Phillips walks the line, plays it over to Russell. Russell gets a shooting lane, plays it back down to Gingrich. Gingrich right back to Russell, but through his legs and comes all the way back through the neutral zone. Phillips retreating. He'll pick it up in his own zone just inside the face-off circle. Plays it back off the boards to Russell. Russell around a stick check there up the right side. Russell across the blue line. Tries to get through. One more poke check, and the loose puck bounces behind the net. Centering pass from Curtin gets poked away and picked up by Leduc. Just inside the blue line. Curtin tries to keep it below the blue line, but it's poke checked, sent back out. Phillips back in his own zone. He'll play it off the boards, wrapping it around, looking for Fuller. Fuller trying to touch it up and get it out of the zone, but it's kept in just inside the blue line. Phillips with a good stick behind his own net. He'll play it back to Fuller. Fuller regains possession across the blue line, evades a poke check, sends it over to Robotham. Robotham and Welsh down the left side. Loose puck picked up by Leduc behind their own net. Long outlet pass. Just gets behind Curtin. Phillips is back. They'll circle around, trying to get a shot. Poke checked and pushed away by Phillips. Good poke check by Phillips to break it up. Centering pass kicked aside by Curtin. They do get a shot off, saved by Rusnak. Curtin bodies up his man in the corner, separates the puck. Fuller is here on the near side as well. Fuller trying to kick it up and out of the zone. Poke checks it away all the way across. Welsh will be there to pick it up. Welsh trying to get a little backhand pass up for Robotham. Robotham gets a stick on it. Picked up by Leduc at center ice. Curtin and Osler back. Leduc inside the face-off circle. Good poke check by Curtin. Breaks it up, and Osler there to help as well. Or Wald is back checking to help as well. Halleck on the far side. Curtin trying to flip it up to Clark. Clark regains possession, plays it up to Wald. Wald and Halleck 2-on-2 break. Wald chips it around a defender. He'll chase it into the corner. Loose puck behind the net. Picked up by Leduc. A couple quick touch passes and a nice breakout on the far side. Osler and Bayshore back. Good stick check by Bayshore. Forces him wide. Takes a shot that goes behind the net. Circling all the way around. We'll drop it back for the left point. Quick touch pass, nobody home, and Leduc will regroup. Quick to get back on sides, and another zone entry, and quick shot goes over the crossbar. Loose puck comes back. Howard tried to bang it ahead to Clark. Osler plays it ahead to Clark. Clark just keeps himself on sides. Quick snapshot, blocker save. Clark skating backwards into the zone. May have just barely been off, but hard to tell from this angle. Offsides call there for Leduc. Face off with 14:40 left in the third period. Walcott takes the face off. Moss and Russell are the wingers. Gingrich and McCabe on defense. Howard touches it up for Gingrich. Turnover behind the net, but Gingrich returns the favor. Gingrich up the left side through the neutral zone. He's got Moss trailing. He'll poke check it away. Comes back to center ice. McCabe is on the far side. He'll play it off the boards, just under the blue line, no icing. Loose puck scooped up by Russell. Russell inside the face-off circle, circling around, trying to find an outlet pass. Poke checked away, though, by Leduc. They chip it up and out of the zone. Russell chasing after it. He gets there first. Good strong move by Russell. Beats his man to the puck. A strong stick. Russell skates it out of the zone. Russell fires a shot into the glove. Leduc goalie hangs on to that just long enough to draw the whistle. And we get a stoppage in play here with 13:43 remaining in the game. Onto the ice. Curtin and Phillips. Robotham take the face-off along with Welsh and Fuller. This puck kicked aside, cleared out of the zone, all the way into the Warriors zone. Forced wide, centering pass broken up. Welsh's clearing attempt goes off the boards and kept in. Phillips is over there. Phillips receives a big check as he's trying to deliver the puck to Curtin. Back on his feet, Curtin back to Phillips. Sends it back to Curtin. Curtin will flip it over the stick. Phillips was trying to find Welsh, but a good pinch by the Leduc defense keeps it in. Centering pass goes off the stick of Rusniak, comes right to the high slot. Shot goes over the crossbar. Another loose puck, saved by Rusniak. Have to ask Phillips what those words were about. 21 and 29. Having a little conversation after the whistle there. Looked friendly. We'll see what that was all about. Just over 13 minutes remaining here in this third period. Shot on target, saved by Rusniak. Face-off controlled by the Warriors. They played up off the glass, trying to clear the zone. It does just trickle out, but slowed enough that we couldn't get the rush going. Quickly picked up by Leduc. Good spin move, trying to maintain possession. They'll play it back to the right point. Quick shot, tip in front, saved by Rusniak. Kicks behind the net. Possession regained by Leduc. They play it back down low from the point. Bayshore lost his stick, might have got slashed away, but No call. Osler comes away with it. He'll play it up to center ice for Clark. Clark trying to tap it over, looking for Wald, but broken up. D-to-D pass for Leduc, trying to clear it out. They fan on the first attempt, but the second one is good. They send it into the zone. Bayshore picks it up, trying to play it back to Clark, but just behind Clark. Good forecheck pressure by Clark, playing it into the far corner. Wald there as well. Or no, looks like that might be Fuller. And I think that is Wald. Trying to get it back to the point, looking for Bayshore, but broken up and flipped all the way into the Warriors zone. No icing. Osler back for the Warriors. Quick pass and a shot goes wide right. Clark picks it up. Cross center ice. Looking for a shot.
Somebody follow!
Rebound, but kicked aside by Leduc. They'll flip it in. Puck will settle behind Rusniak. Kicked over to Rabotham. Rabotham breaks it out on the right side. Sends it over to Russell. Poke checked away. Russell regroups in his own zone. Circling around the face-off circle off the boards. Trying to find McCabe. It's tipped, so no icing. Pass over the face-off circle. Shot goes off the side of the cage. Might have got a stick on that was Rusniak, and the rebound comes back to him. He'll cover that up for a face-off. Just under 11 minutes remaining in the game. Rabotham will take the face-off. McCabe ties up his man. Rabotham going after the puck. He's got Moss over there as well. Shot on target, glove save, Rusniak. He'll hang on to that one. We'll get another face-off in the Warriors zone. Phillips and Curtin on the ice. Walcott, Welsh, and Fuller are your forwards. Warriors control. They'll play it back to Phillips. Phillips slides it around trying to find Fuller, but gets tied up, and a loose puck is picked up by Welsh. Welsh and Walcott trying to break it out. Good back check, though, by Leduc, and they regain possession behind their own net. Up the left side, long outlet pass, broken up momentarily there by Walcott. Picked up by Leduc. They skate around some traffic. Leg pad saved by Rusniak. Puck comes into the near corner. Walcott in a battle. Plays it over to Fuller. Fuller up the left side. Skates around a poke check over the blue line. Drop pass back for Welsh. Welsh lets a shot rip. Initial save kicked into the corner. They'll try to play it back, but not out. Kept alive by the Warriors. Loose puck in front. Walcott trying to get a stick on it. They'll carry it around. Trying to get a centering pass. Turns, shot, fired, goes wide. Walcott looks like he had a good shot. Stick save. Kicks behind the net. The puck will trickle back to the point. Phillips, D-to-D pass over to Curtin. Curtin lets it fly. Initial glove save. Loose puck in front. Fuller tried to get a backhand wraparound in there. Right into the crease and covered up by the goalie. Fuller had a couple of cracks at it. One went wide right. Scooped up his own rebound. Fuller circles around trying to wrap around, but it trickles into the crease and the goalie covers it up. 9.5 minutes remaining in this third period. Score is still 5-1. No score in the third period so far. Leduc over the blue line. Getting through all kinds of stick checks. Forced wide. Shot right in front. One-timer goes wide right. Clark a little touch pass trying to find Howitt, but it's poke checked away. Comes right back to Clark. Centering pass right in the high slot. Warriors do a good job to force him wide. He blows a tire in the near corner. Dumps the pass off, though, to a Leduc player behind the net. Bayshore battling over there with Wald. Puck is picked up and flipped to the blue line, but not out. shot, good stick save, or a good block there by Wald as he breaks up the shot attempt. He'll flip it back to center ice, trying to find Howick, but intercepted by Leduc at the red line. A dump in by Leduc, no icing as it was touched. Centering pass right in front, backhander goes above the crossbar. Leduc regains possession. Far side, face-off circle. Stick check. Broken up right in front. 2 players there and they score. Just not a fair fight there for Rusniak. 2 players behind all the defense. Quick pass, quick shot, and Leduc goes up 6-1 with 18-18 here remaining in this third period. Good disciplined hockey here by the Leduc Oil team. Lots of passing, lots of puck control. Really good system hockey. And I don't see any, I guess there's one or two throughout the game here, but a lot of them wearing very similar helmets, very similar breezers. So I would guess a lot of them play together in the regular season a fair amount. Regardless, very well-disciplined team and played well so far in this tournament. They're 3-0-1 coming into this semifinal game. So 1 tie, but no losses. Loose puck scooped up by Russell. Just inside the red line, he'll dump it in. Gingrich and McCabe on defense. Moss, Russell, and Robotham are your wingers, or your forwards, I should say. On the left side, Leduc trying to dump it in. Good poke check there by McCabe, breaks it up. Leduc will dump it back in, but it's scooped up by Gingrich. Just over 7 minutes remaining. Gingrich to Russell. Quick pass right back to Gingrich. Robotham streaking down the left side. Quick shot looking for a rebound. Blocked, goes into the far corner. Scooped up by Leduc. They'll circle behind their own net, trying to play it out, but good job by Fuller to keep it in. Fuller trying to get it over to centering it, looking for Gingrich, but broken up. Fuller battling behind the net. He'll circle around, trying to find an open man. He plays it back to the point. Shot blocked by the defense and cleared out by Leduc. They'll send it the length of the ice for an icing call with 6:39 left in the third period. Phillips and Curtin on defense. Face-off controlled by Leduc. They'll dig it out. Good pass through the neutral zone, but broken up by Curtin. Curtin try to play it off the wall to Fuller. Loose puck picked up by Leduc in the slot. Shot goes wide. Picked up by Fuller, trying to clear it around and play it off the glass. It bounces into the neutral zone. Retreating as the Leduc defenseman. They'll play it to the other defensive player. Chipping it in the neutral zone. Up the near side. They'll poke it ahead. Curtin chasing after it. He'll get there just in time to smack it around, trying to find Phillips or Welsh, but kept in at the point. Phillips picks up the loose puck. He'll play it to Welsh. Welsh, the pass goes a little too hot to handle. Goes over the stick of Fuller. Leduc quickly through the neutral zone. Drop pass right at the blue line. Play stays on sides. Good pass over to the face-off dot. Tough angle shot coming up. They'll force him wide. Good play by Curtin to force him wide. A poke check there by Fuller breaks it up. Kept in just under the blue line. They'll chip it back down. Rusniak leaving it. Sends it over to Fuller. Fuller, long pass on the far side. Looking for Howick. Bangs off the boards just ahead of him. Tough angle. Carries all the way into the corner. Walled forechecking. They cleared out, but it comes back to Phillips. Phillips plays it off the glass, trying to get it back in. Clark picks up a stick just in time for a poke check and cleared out by Curtin. Loose puck, chasing after it. There's Wald. It's picked up by Clark. Clark over the blue line, trying to skate through some traffic. Poke checked away. Possession regained by Leduc. They'll come up the near side into the neutral zone. Russell back checking. He'll scoop up the loose puck. Russell behind his own net. Makes an evasive move. Buys a little time. Squirts through the neutral zone. He's got walled as well. Loses the puck. Right in the high slot, and they score! Didn't quite see who got that goal in. There. We'll check that score sheet later, but I'll take a peek at this replay and see if I can tell who stuffed that in. That was hard to see the assist. Jagger got the goal, it sounds like, and Boston maybe? You think it was? Oh, Osler? Might have been Osler. Hard to see in that replay there, but maybe from Osler. Clark from Osler makes it 6-2. Still some fight left in these boys. 4.5 minutes remaining. Bayshore chips it up the near side. Big hit on the near side here. Possession regained by the Warriors. Russell up the right side. He's got Wald streaking with it as well. Russell around some traffic. Quick shot, leg pad save. Osler on the far side. Puck is dumped in. We're going to get a penalty here. It's like 2 players are going off. Osler got tangled up at the end there. Referee looked like he was motioning 2 players. Yeah, looks like it was just out of my frame there on the first hit. Looks like Osler went down. Might have been some carryover from something else the referee must have seen, so he sends them both off the 4-minute mark here. Offsetting penalties, so 5-on-5 hockey. Pass in front is kicked aside, no shot. Comes back to the point though. Gingrich in the near corner, breaks up the play. Centering pass comes all the way back to the point, but not out. Held in by Leduc. Quick shot. Doesn't get through. Blocked by McCabe. Looks like he wore that one maybe outside of the pad. He seems to be limping a little bit after that shot block. Must have got him somewhere where the pad wasn't covering, but he stays on the ice. Well, he'll head back to the bench. Line change here. Onto the ice comes Phillips and Curtin. Fuller, Welsh, and Howick are your forwards. 3.5 minutes remaining. Curtin sends it off the boards, trying to find Fuller streaking out of the zone. Fuller comes away with it, trying to play it over to Welsh. Welsh just inside the red line. He'll fire it down. Chipped off the goalie's stick. Fuller with a good forecheck down there. Picks up the loose puck in the corner. Trying to dig it out and maybe play it back to the point, but it's scooped up by Leduc. Playing behind their own net up the far side into the neutral zone. Outlet pass. Doesn't get touched. Icing call. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Loose puck in the far corner. Warriors trying to dig it out and get a centering pass. Tied up there is Fuller. Fuller and Howick behind the net, but it's dug out by Leduc. Leduc through the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass on the left side. Phillips is back along with Curtin. Pass right into the slot, but kicked aside by Curtin. Back to the high slot. Shot, glove save, Rusniak. Good eyes there by Ruzi as that play developed. A quick pass to the high slot and a quick snapshot. Rusniak with the glove save. Line change for the Warriors. Russell, Clark, and Wald are your forwards. Bayshore and Gingrich on defense. Warriors win it, back to Gingrich. He'll play it around the boards, up the far side, but kept in just below the blue line. Quick shot, tough angle, goes behind Rusniak, comes all the way around. Russell trying to chip it out, but it's kept in again by LeDuc. 6-2 your score, just over 2 minutes remaining in this final period. Outlet pass into the neutral zone, a little quick chip back to the slot, but broken up by Bayshore. Bayshore sends it out. Big hit on the far side. One-timer goal by number 23. Just as it was cleared behind the net, a quick pass from behind Rusniak up to the high slot. Number 23 with a rifle, blistering one-timer, and that puts the LeDuc Oil on top 7-2. And after the 2 minutes has expired, because their offsetting penalties had to wait for a whistle, but now that there's a stoppage in play, the offsetting penalties to the LeDuc player and to Osler are over. They're back on the bench. And right at the 2 minute mark in the third period. Bayshore dump it in just inside the red line, no icing. Chasing after it is Clark. Russell in the high slot. Russell behind the net trying to dig it out. He comes away with it, circling around. Trying to find a passing lane, tied up there. Puck squirts out, centering pass up to LeDuc. Osler back checking. Does a good job to slow the play up. And Wald was there as well. Puck is picked up and flipped out by Clark back to center ice. Russell streaking, he's all alone. He gets behind the defense. Russell, quick shot, scores! Russell gets behind the defense after this quick sauce pass that flipped up and over everybody. Russell scoops it up. Quick wrist shot. Couldn't quite tell where it went in. I saw the net flutter up in the top corner, maybe the right side, maybe. That makes it 7-3. Warriors still showing some fight. LeDuc controls the puck on the near side over the blue line. Quick shot saved by Rusniak. 1:05 remaining. A face-off here just to Rusniak's left in the Warrior zone. Curtin and Phillips on defense. Walcott, Moss, and Rabatha are your forwards. LeDuc plays it back to the point. Over to the far side. Quick shot looking for a tip. Might have got tipped, but it goes wide. Rock'em chips it back to Curtin. Curtin sends it around, trying to find Moss or Phillips. A little touch pass from LeDuc, nobody home. Curtin battling. Walcott over there in the corner as well. Phillips clears it out, kicks it off his skate, drops it back over for Curtin and Moss. Moss, a little touch pass to Curtin, but it's kept in just below the blue line. 30 seconds remaining. Walcott and Phillips on the far side. The LeDuc player blows a tire. The other one is right there to pick up the puck, but cleared out on accident as it was a pass back to the point. Goes all the way back to the LeDuc end. Goalie will leave it for his defender. 13 seconds remaining. Warriors trying to keep something alive in the offensive zone here. Chipped up and back to the neutral zone here with 5 seconds remaining. Phillips is back. Good pass, good stick, but right at the buzzer, they do sneak it in. Phillips got a stick on it. They made the far pass, but then right back. These LeDuc players always there to make one extra pass, and that's usually the difference maker in a lot of these goals. A lot of good unselfish play there by LeDuc. They didn't put it on the board, although the referee did seem to point to the back of net, so the arena shows 7-3. I've got it 8-3. But Warriors dropped the semifinal game, so that'll put them in the bronze medal game against a to-be-determined opponent that'll play, I believe, at 10 o'clock, maybe 10:15. Might be a 10:15 semifinal game, so We'll await the loser of the next game, which is between the PEP Prospects and the Calgary Rush. Prospects will be favored in that game. If they were to win, that means Rocky Mountain Warriors would face the Rush, who they have not faced yet, so it'll be a new opponent in game number 6. And good to get the extra game regardless. So 6 games in a weekend, 2 per day for 3 straight days. A lot of good hockey here. So one more to play, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. We'll see you back here in a few hours. Go back and get the boys cleaned up and probably fed a little bit and checked out of the hotel. Back at this same arena for one final game. Warriors drop this one to the Leduc Oil, 8-3. We'll see you this afternoon.